paper. I prefer it's
Physical,
like
wet
yeah, it should
signature,
be blue
yeah.
ink.
Yeah.
Good evening. Welcome to the July 7th, 2025 Town of Smyrna Beer Board. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If everyone could please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next on the agenda, which I don't think we have any, is citizen comments. None. Next is review and approval of the minutes from the June 2nd meeting. Did everyone have a chance to review them?
Yes.
Any comments, concerns, or emotion?
I vote that we approve them. I make the motion that we approve them.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the last meeting. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Seeing none, they have been approved. We don't have any old business. So our next item is new business. We have a public hearing regarding, is it Bean?
Yes.
Bean Brothers Texas Style Barbecue and Catering. If you guys could come up, introduce yourselves, I will open the floor for the public hearing. If you could just tell us who you are and what you got going on.
Okay. I'm Rooster Bean, and it says Donald Bean, but I go by Rooster and had it for 60-something years now, so it's all Rooster.
Okay.
And I'm the wife, Lori Bean.
So,
So,
You guys will be opening a new business here in town?
yes, ma'am. It's a Texas-style barbecue restaurant, beer only, no wine or no whiskey or nothing like that anymore. So I've had other places before, but we're just doing beer only.
Okay. And so it will be a sit-down restaurant, and then you will also offer catering, is that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And how will you check ages?
Everybody that comes through the door, I don't know if you're 80, you better have an ID or you won't get a beer. So everybody gets carded.
Poor grandma, no.
You know, we've had them to get mad at us because they didn't have an ID before,
and
so.
it's a valid ID, we know
Yeah.
that one.
How, many managers will you have?
Right now, there's two, me and her, but I am gonna hire, I've got another kid that, he didn't give me a yay today, but his name is Michael Jordan. So it's, and, you know, MJ's been with us before in the past. He's a music engineer is what he does, but I think he's getting ready to come on board to help us manage.
And you know if you do that, he'll need to fill out the application for a manager.
That's correct, yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then I guess how will you train your employees to card or,
For carding?
yeah.
You know, if you don't card, you ain't got a job. You know, I mean, that we've always done it that way, you know, and if somebody does come in and, you know, they don't card them, you know, you get two strikes and then the third you're out.
What are your hours gonna be?
Right now, we'll open at 10:30, I mean, basically 11 a.m., but we'll be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, you know, to prep everything. And then, so basically 10:30 in the morning to, I'm going to say 10 at night right now because we're going to have writers' rounds with country music and and from time to time we'll have a band, but we will close the kitchen per se by 8 to 9 o'clock, and then the beer sales will no later than 10 o'clock. And if we were to stay open maybe till 11 on, if we've got bands, do we need to do we need to say 11 or, but right now, I want to get out of there as early as I can. You know, used to, I'd stay till 3.
And a lot of that too, during the week, the early part of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, historically, it's 7-ish to 8.
Yeah.
And then maybe Thursday, Friday, Saturday goes into your 10 o'clock. But at all of our restaurants before, we're just 10 o'clock. 10's late.
Ramps up more towards the end of the week, into the
Yes.
weekend for
Yes,
sure.
sir. Mhm.
Any other questions? for
And
them?
we want to be known for our food. In Nashville, he had the longest bar at Rooster's Texas Style Barbecue and Steakhouse downtown, but he always said, I still want to be known for our food. So that's what
Yeah.
we're known for. We're not, but you almost have to have beer. We even tossed around that. In Texas, we gave it away.
Yeah.
We had a big trough out front, and not one time in 2 to 3 years, anybody took advantage of it. The older gentleman or young would,
Yeah,
you
have
know,
a couple
come
of
in,
beers.
have a
but,
beer
you
and
know.
leave, but you could do that, but he said now, where he said he's just gonna be on the menu and we'll go through here and do
Yeah.
it this way.
When are y'all opening?
Hopefully not. Once a week.
I'm hoping by August the 1st.
Okay.
I'm really shooting, but in it,
And then,
in between, you know, say the 21st of this month to the 1st, if we get, you know, in 28th, we've got to come back for the board for,
the historical commission.
yeah, for the
We're doing
outside.
some outside work.
So, but I can open it up without that, and tomorrow they're gonna start putting the wood on the walls. So I'm gonna say by I'd like to say the 21st, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. But then August the 9th, when they have the beer, or the
barbecue
barbecue festival, that's when we definitely wanna be open by that day.
And we didn't know that.
We didn't know that.
I think you told us that,
yeah.
yep. So we're like,
So
why wouldn't we
Christie,
be?
yeah.
So that's our goal.
Yeah.
And we're 65 and 66, so a goal now is different than it was when we were younger, but that's our plan.
Any other questions?
I didn't have any.
I don't have
Okay,
any.
so we'll close the public hearing. Y'all can have a seat. Any
Okay.
discussion?
No, no.
We have a motion?
Make a motion to approve?
Second? Or second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the on-premise permit for Bean Brothers Texas Style Barbecue and Catering. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations, it's been approved. You can pick it up tomorrow after 10.
I'm sorry?
You can pick it up tomorrow after 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Let
You'll
me
just
ask-
ask for me and it'll be up here, the front
Okay.
treasury window again.
And on off-site catering, if I ever wanted to do off-site catering, do I need to get another permit for is it off-site that I would be able to do? Or how would that work? I mean, I'm not going, as of right now, I'm not doing it.
But occasionally people do ask
People,
us on
like for
catering.
weddings and stuff, they'll say, you
I
know,
think catering is a whole different animal,
Okay.
that's not necessarily covered under our ordinance.
Okay.
So that would be something I'd like for you to have a conversation with our town attorney, Jeff Peach, on.
okay,
But I think the catering, that's considered a private event that you're hired for, so I don't necessarily think that that would be covered under our beer permit per se.
Okay.
But I want to follow up with you on that.
okay, with Jeff and you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Well, I'll give you my contact information
Okay.
and I can correspond with you on that.
And
Okay.
also, we are our insurance agent is with International Insurance Brokerages. He went to MTSU with Rooster eons ago. But he's out of Franklin, but we have full umbrella coverage on everything. He knows the rules and the laws. So that's an FYI.
Great.
On
Thank
food
you.
and alcohol. We've catered for the Super Bowl before, and when the rounds were, we catered them in New Orleans when we had our Texas place, and they secured us to cater there, so
In Atlanta.
we had a different insurance question of what happens, because we're not really big enough to do the game. We are, but we chose not to. So we used that week to use some of their pre-game and their practice meal catering. Well, what if one batch of food comes in and gets, you know, and then you throw the whole team, you know? So we have good insurance. So
Okay.
FYI, all
Perfect.
areas.
Do we have any other new business?
None for me tonight.
No. Set the date for the August. I looked, I believe the first Monday is the 4th. Does that work for everyone?
It actually does not work for Jeff and I.
Okay.
If we could do really any other date, preferably maybe the next,
I'm gonna say, do you want to
the
do
following Monday.
The 11th?
I believe, let me look at my calendar here.
And just so the board knows, we don't currently have any applications for August, so I think we're fine to go ahead and pick an alternate date if you want to do that. And then if any applications come in, I can just advise them of that alternate date for
Yep.
August.
The next Monday would be the 11th.
That would be good.
That works.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do the 11th, and Amber will let us know if we don't need it. Well, don't ask how I wrote the date. Any reports of officers, committees, or staff? None? Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. It's, meeting's adjourned. Have a great night.
Everybody, thank you.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing a lot of y'all.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
And we'll let you know when we open.